Hello, everyone. Good evening. So, first of all, I'm Stacey Portugal. I'm a weight loss coach, and I help women just like you who feel like they're controlled by sugar and carbs, and I help them gain control so they can easily pass up temptation and land at their ideal weight. Today, I wanted to talk to you about using visualization and how it can take you from stuck to success, even if you couldn't do it before. Even if you've tried a gazillion times, this is really a fresh, new approach. So let me first talk to you about having a cycle of sabotage. Do you notice that you've got sort of the same sabotaging situation sort of over and over again? Maybe it's situational, like you're at parties, you're at events, and even like afternoon eating. So you notice that it's this particular situation that seems to drive you away from your goals. You know, it sabotages you over and over again. Like it's late afternoon and you're just trying to, pass the time. Maybe you got some chatter in your head and you just consistently go to that pantry. Or you've got some, craving or a certain belief that's just keeping you stuck. And maybe you've got a fitness goal and you're really just trying to get to the next level. Or maybe you're not making traction in your weight loss goals and you really feel like you need sort of a fresh approach. You're putting in so much effort and you're getting so little weight loss or so little health results. So using visualization is best when you're able to identify a particular situation that it will be helpful for. So visualization, let's kind of define it a little bit. What I mean by visualization is that it's a purposeful redirect. So I'm going to write that in the comments, guys. It's a purposeful redirect. Okay, that's visualization. I spelled that right. Okay, perfect. So that's really the essence of what I'm talking about, a purposeful redirect. So let's just say you have a perceived roadblock, like you are training with weights and you're trying to get to the next level, or you're trying to walk a certain distance and you've gone, a half a mile, but you really want to make it up to that next level. You want to get to, 3/4 of a mile or a mile, but you feel like in some ways it might be kind of mental, and so you need a purposeful redirect to get you over that hump. Maybe you have certain beliefs that are getting in your way and it's time to sort of reframe them. Or maybe you just have a lot of negative self-talk, that chatter in your head that's not really being productive. It's kind of taking you away from your goals. Or maybe you're just trying to, get on track at the gym like I was this week. The reason that I wanted to talk about visualization is because it's something I used very recently. I was on the track and I was doing one of those programs, like a couch to 5K type thing, because I'm running the turkey trot on Thanksgiving, and I normally can just, run a few miles and not think that much about it. But truth be told, I haven't been purposely running besides playing other sports for any length of time in the past year. So I knew I had to do a little bit of training. So I was on the track. Long story short, I was on the track and I was doing the Couch to 5K program, and I kind of thought to myself, well, I could do this pretty easily. Why don't I just challenge myself and just run and just see how it feels? So the track that I use is a 1/4 mile track. And so I would start the 1/4 mile, and as I'd see the start, I think to myself, okay, that's my finish line. And then I did a mile, and I thought to myself, you know what? Instead of seeing this as the finish line, why don't I see this as the start of a new lap, which is another 1/4 mile. And then I started to visualize, instead of that part of the track being sort of the end, like it was a wall, in my mind, I sort of opened up the track and I could see beyond it, and I saw myself running. And so I proceeded to run about 1.25 miles without stopping, which at that moment was so good for me. I was so excited about it. Because let's face it, I only have about 2 weeks for the turkey trot. So visualization worked really well for me in that situation. And today I'm going to talk to you about using visualization, which is a purposeful redirect, to go from just being really stuck. You might be stuck in your mindset. You might be stuck in a behavior, like a pattern of behavior, a bad habit. Going from that to success without having to change a diet or really do anything else besides work on that mental piece. So let's take an example. Now, if this resonates with you, just give me a like on this video. And if you're watching live or on replay, give me a like, say hello. If you're on replay, just type one word, replay, so I know that people are watching on replay. All right, so let's kind of talk about some scenarios that might be coming up during this holiday season. You know, we're past Thanksgiving. We're now sliding right into Thanksgiving. And then, as we all know, from Thanksgiving until New Year's Day at least, we're going to have just a ton of stuff going on that could easily sabotage our weight loss goals. And so using something like visualization can really give you the power to move past whatever is keeping you stuck. So you can actually make some traction in whatever situation you're working on. So here's a couple of different scenarios, and I want you to think about what really resonates with you. Let's say that, you know, the holidays are coming up. So a lot of people during the holidays might get sad. You know, you may be experiencing some sort of loss that comes up for you. You may have some family issues that you're kind of like dealing with and feeling a little apprehensive about as the holidays approach. You may be in sort of that bad habit, that bad cycle of going to a party and like always hanging by the food, and you're overeating and you're over drinking. Maybe you just have a really, really long to-do list, you know, from now until January. You know, you may be the female head of your household, and as we know, us females, we really handle quite a bit of things. We're like the jugglers of the family. So whatever that is, I want you to kind of think about it and picture it and take that situation. I'm going to use an example of, let's say you have family tension with somebody who you know is going to be at the Thanksgiving table. So it's a particular situation, and the first thing you really have to ask yourself is, well, what typically happens during that situation? When I sit down, when I go, you know, at the family Thanksgiving celebration, when I see my relative, that I really feel like there's a little tension there, what's the typical scenario? And so maybe for you, and I want you to think about this and go ahead and type it in. it might be something like you're sitting down with, or you arrive at the party, at the Thanksgiving dinner, and, it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon, it's pretty early, and there's just that dread that comes over you because you're like, oh my God, I got to hang out with my family for the next, 4 hours plus, and that's going to be really difficult for me. And you're just dreading it. And now all of a sudden, you're kind of moving toward the bar, and now you've had a glass of wine, and now you're moving toward the appetizers, and you're just kind of standing in your safe corner by the appetizers. Does this sound familiar? Okay, so, hey, Bill. So let's kind of go with that as an example. And I want you guys to feel, free to type in whatever example you want to work through. And I can even help you after the replay work through it. So let's just say that we're at the party, you're feeling all these things I've described, and you're kind of realizing that, visualization might really help me get through the evening a whole lot better so that I don't sabotage all the hard work I've put into this weight loss and my health goals. And I just don't want to start from scratch anymore. I want to be consistent. I'm tired of starting and stopping my weight loss efforts. I really want to learn how to be consistent, and I don't want this one scenario, this one situation to hold me back any longer. So I'm going to use some visualization. So we're visualizing. We're visualizing, how am I going to feel when I walk into my mother's house for Thanksgiving, and I'm feeling some family tension, and then I'm drinking, and then I'm eating too much. How can I sort of let go of that feeling of tension when I walk through the door? Well, if I close my eyes and I really think about the situation, the tension that I feel is, I'm totally making this up, but the tension I might be feeling could be with one of my family members. Maybe it's this cousin that I never really see, but we don't really get along. We have some bad history. And my cousin's family is going to be at this holiday, at this Thanksgiving dinner. And I'm really down about it because I'm envisioning all of them talking about me and not including me. So I'm already envisioning feeling isolated. And I know that when I walk in, sort of my body language and what I'm doing is isolating. I'm standing by the food. I'm not really talking to people. I'm drinking. How can I rethink this? How can I reframe this situation? So something you might want to try in this scenario is visualizing your cousin in not such a stressful way. Visualizing your cousin saying to yourself, hey, you know what? Whatever happened with my cousin, it was a long time ago. And I really don't feel comfortable with these negative feelings any longer. And I'm visualizing this. And instead of visualizing my cousin, because when I close my eyes, I visualize my cousin as like this roadblock. What would happen if I visualized my cousin as just open and loving? And now I'm remembering when my cousin and I were young and we used to play together. And I'm starting to realize how silly it is to carry this stress with me that happened a long time ago, all the way into my Thanksgiving dinner, when I should really be feeling grateful. So now all of a sudden, not only am I visualizing my cousin with open arms and loving me, regardless of what the reality may or may not be, but this is how I am choosing to look at this situation. And now I'm thinking, wow, it's Thanksgiving and I have so much to be grateful for. Now I'm sort of changing that chatter in my head from one of isolation to one of, hey, you know what? I'm really grateful for this day, and I'm looking forward to catching up with my cousins. You know, we have just a limited amount of time on this earth, and I don't want to get this, let this fight or this tension that happened a long time ago get in the way of my Thanksgiving. It's not the way I want to remember my Thanksgiving. It's not the way I want to have, how I want to experience my Thanksgiving tonight. So I'm picturing that peaceful relationship, whatever that might look like for you. I'm picturing those affirmations of gratitude. And now I'm visualizing a different outcome. I'm allowing the room in my evening for my weight loss goals, that I'm so proud of all I've accomplished. And I so believe in the low carb plan that I'm following, that I think I'm going to stick to it and feel really good about myself. And yeah, I'm going to catch up with my cousin. And if she doesn't want to catch up, that's totally up to her. But this is the attitude, this is the body language that I'm going to carry at this event. And if she doesn't want to talk, I know my aunt and uncle will be there. I know my sister and brothers will be there. And I'm just coming from a place of happiness and of gratitude right now. So does that work for you? Does that make sense? Can you give me a yes if that makes sense for you? If the idea of visualization if you can visualize visualization as something that might be helpful for you in order to reach your weight loss or your health goals, or even in order to just push through some tough situations. It can apply to so many obstacles in your life. It's not really just about health and weight loss. So I hope that this was helpful for you. Certainly the holidays are coming up, and we're going to be talking a whole lot more about all the strategies that you can use to remain low carb, to not allow that cycle of sugar dependence get back into your life. So make sure you stay tuned, invite a friend to like this group, and I will see you in the next video. Bye now.